To talk more about why the state wants to exterminate these pigs, founder, editor-in-chief, and key writer of naturalnews.com, Mike Adams, joins us now. He's also known as the Health Ranger. Hi, Mike. So being out there, what really struck me was how sincerely these people in Michigan are affected by this law and the horror, I mean, you saw there, of having no choice but to open fire on their own animals. So why would the state enact a law mandating that farmers do this?
Well, you're to be commended, by the way, for going there and for covering this story. This is a very important story, and it is an outrage. It's a war on America's farmers. These livestock, these pigs that the state calls feral pigs, are not feral pigs. Feral pigs are ones in the wild that have been out in the wild outside the fences, but they forced these farmers to shoot their own pigs inside the fences that were under control and that were not a problem. By the same logic, the state of Michigan could say there's a wild dog problem and then demand all pet owners in the state shoot their own dogs. It is a complete outrage, it's illogical, and I believe it's unconstitutional and illegal as well. But I'm glad that you're covering this story.
And it's understanding that you interesting that you make that distinction, feral, because these pigs, once they're living inside the fence, they're no longer feral. And this law applies to feral pigs. You go to the website and it's a law to exterminate feral pigs. And the definition doesn't seem to add up there. And I did many times try to contact the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, and I never got a response. But their website states many reasons. It says these pigs carry diseases. They attack humans. They can cause damage to the environment. But none of these characteristics seem to describe the pigs that I saw on the farm. In fact, I ventured inside the fence and snapped this photo. This little piggy is named Friendly because he likes to be around people. Like, he kind of comes up to you, sniffs you a little bit, but he won't attack you. None of the pigs did. So that argument doesn't make sense.
No, the Michigan DNR, pardon me for interrupting, the DNR has been caught in multiple lies about this. In our investigation, we've caught them lying many times. And the head of the Michigan DNR, Rodney Stokes, needs to resign immediately. He is endangering the livelihoods of farmers and farm families. He is, in fact, putting the state's economic abundance at risk by that. He's taking away the rights of these people. These farms are engaged. This is what America was built on, fundamental farming, having livestock. Where does this end? That's the real question here. If they can criminalize hogs that farmers are raising, they could criminalize cows, chickens, other kinds of livestock, and then arrest farmers as felons if they don't destroy that livestock as well. So you've got to get back to a point where you respect the fundamental rights of farmers and food producers in your state. Otherwise, you end up with nothing but corporate-run hog factories that really abuse those pigs and treat them inhumanely in the first place.
Now, in terms of the pigs carrying diseases, another argument that the Department of Natural Resources is making, people that bought the meat from these farmers bought them because they're fed organically. Here's what one of the farmers had to say about this.
Like the taste of them when they're grass-fed and when they can roam and eat off the land a little bit. They like that, the taste of that hog better. So a lot of our customers were naturalists that would come here for that reason.
Now, I know you're the Health Ranger and advocate GMO-free and hormone-free, and that's what these pigs are, but the government wants them gone. What's up with that?
Well, this could be very much the action of the monopolistic Traditional Pork Producers Association. I think there's a tie-in here. I don't have proof of it yet, but that seems to be part of it because their lobbyists want to have a monopoly for that industry. And the way they do that is to eliminate competition. It's just like any other corporation. They want to eliminate the competition, and in this case, the competition was the backyard pigs that were being raised in better conditions with better diets and that honestly produced better meat. And it's interesting because, as you mentioned, I'm the Health Ranger. I don't personally consume pork. I don't consume beef. That's just my decision. But I support the right of others who wish to consume those meats to be able to access them in the healthiest way possible. And that's what these farmers were providing. So by attacking these farmers, the Michigan DNR, the state government, has not only violated the rights of those farmers, they've also denied the people of Michigan a source of healthy food that I believe can help prevent disease and reduce their exposure to the pesticides, hormones and antibiotics that are in other porks.
And talking to the farmers there, that is a suspicion that they had. I mean, the justifications that the government provided, it really didn't make any sense to them. So this is what they were thinking, that the corporations, the pig corporations, the pork corporations, that is, and the lobbies are behind it. Now, while these kinds of pigs are outlawed, here is what is allowed to happen on industrialized farms in the country. Take a look. A very strong contrast there to the pigs that are allowed to roam free and at least live somewhat of a happy life before they're sent to be butchered. This doesn't, I mean, there's kind of a disconnect there. I mean, what we just saw is perfectly legal on these industrialized farms, yet these other farmers can be charged as a felon for harboring those other kinds of pigs.
Yeah, you're breaking my heart with that video, but I'm glad you showed it because people do need to see the reality of what goes on. So what you're pointing out there is a great contradiction by the state of Michigan that says, hey, it's okay to have pork if it has been abused, if it has been injected with hormones, if it has been fed GMOs, and GMOs themselves are what's called a self-replicating genetic pollution for the state. So just feeding pigs GMO food, which is common in the industry, is in fact promoting a type of contamination of the natural environment. But one of the people you interviewed there, the farmer Mark Baker, his pigs were fed on a natural diet. They were free-range pigs. They led the healthiest, happiest life that they could experience before being slaughtered for meat. And that is a legitimate way to raise farm animals for meat, and that's what's under attack by the state of Michigan.
That is what's under attack, but there are some farmers that fought back. We saw theirs. For some, it's too late. They already shot all the animals that they had. But Mark Baker is one of them. He's taking this battle to court. But if the pork lobby is involved, do these small farmers, small town farmers, stand a chance?
Well, I think it comes down to getting back to the essentials of what does it mean to be an American? What are the liberties that are supposed to be guaranteed us? These actions by the Michigan DNR, raiding these farms at gunpoint, which they deny, but again, we've caught them in that lie. Raiding a farm at gunpoint in order to destroy the livestock. You know, I'm in Texas right now, and I can tell you, if that happened in Texas, the Texas culture, the farming culture, long-standing history, they would not put up with that. I can't believe that there aren't Michigan farmers marching on the Capitol there and demanding the resignation of Rodney Stokes from the Michigan DNR, demanding immediate investigations from the Michigan Governor Snyder. This is something that is a crime against the people of the state of Michigan. It's got to stop, or where does it end? Again, they could come after our dogs, our cats, our horses, our chickens, our pet birds. They could demand we slaughter all of our animals because, remember, this DNR action was not a law. They simply invented it out of thin air. They made it up. It's an order that they made up and then enforced at gunpoint. That is un-American.
That's right, Mike. Thank you. A lot of unanswered questions in this case, and hopefully there is some more investigation as to what is really going on there. Mike, thanks for coming on the show. That was Mike Adams, health ranger and founder of naturalnews.com.